Welcome back, everyone. Your loyal captain, Gear 100, has finally returned for another video for you guys today. Yes, y'all, I know it has been a long time. I just needed a bit of a break from doing videos for a little while, because I didn't really think my channel was going anywhere. Because as you guys can see, I haven't done this for like a long time, but we're making a comeback, so why not? Whoop, boom. Alright, 336 subscribers. We're stuck at that, and we're almost to 100 videos so far. Come on, y'all, let's get to 400 subscribers by the time we reach 100 videos. Anyway, I need to get back to What If Ash Was Red Sun. There's a whole lot of stuff I need to get back to, y'all. And I know y'all are anticipating and lying in wait for the next few videos to come up. And don't think I haven't been seeing you guys in the comment section. I have, and I've been replying. I've been looking at all of you guys' stuff, and I've just been going through it right now. So, well, as of lately, I just needed a bit of a break. My body just kind of, well, it couldn't handle all the pressure on it, and it was kind of like a burnout situation. But I'm back, and we're here to do it again. And with that title that you guys see, oh boy, we're in for a fucking doozy. This is What If Deku Had Cursed Speech. Ooh, yep, you guys are in for it, this one. Now, me and my friend have talked about this for a little bit, going with the backstory and everything upon what we could do and how we could explore the situation based on how powerful this is. But if you guys don't know what cursed speech is, it's from Jujutsu Kaisen, and I got the biography here so you guys can read it. But you know, Gear 100 has to add his little spice of flavors onto it. So guys, and I know you might be asking, how can, for those who already know about Jujutsu Kaisen and cursed speech, how can you make this power even more broken than it already is? Oh, just wait. I got multiple ideas. But before we get into that, we need to get to the intro. So with that being said, y'all ready? I'm ready. Cue the intro.
It doesn't matter who's wrong.
Woo! We're back. And like I promised, cursed speech, with my own little spice of flavor after I'm done explaining what it is. So this is cursed speech. It's in on its own, with it being as raw as it is. Alright, anyway, moving on. Alright. Cursed speech is an inherited technique of the... okay. It reinforces the user's words with cursed energy, which compels the listeners to act or be acted upon based on those words. Alright, anyway, here we go. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yep, moving on. Okay, there we go. Cursed speech is activated when the user utters words or commands aloud that are reinforced with cursed energy. This action compels the listener to act or be acted upon as command. For example, a cursed speech user can command his opponent to stop moving or for them to be blasted away. The strength of the compulsion depends on the skill level of the user, as stronger commands require higher skill and can cause stronger backlash to the user if they are less skilled. Damn. Strength. The primary strength of cursed speech is its immense versatility due to its technique being based on language. Ooh. It is effective against any opponent, affecting living beings and even objects. Anyone unaware of how to... Oh, dang it. Sorry, guys, hold on. Why does this keep happening? Oh wait, wrong thing. Woof. Alright, we're back. Anyone unaware of how to defend against cursed speech would be helpless against the user's words. I mean, is there any way to defend against it? Well, I know how, but still, I'm not going to say that. Weaknesses. Like most cursed techniques, overusing cursed speech takes a physical toll on the user's body. The stronger the words used, the worse the side effects are. In the worst case scenario, cursed speech could backfire on the user and result in sore throats, coughing up blood, and or losing the ability to speak. Many of these symptoms can be remedied with cough syrup or cough medicine. As cursed speech uses language and thus is volatile in nature, it can make it dangerous to speak with others. Civilians and anyone within range of the user will be affected. As a countermeasure, what the heck? As a countermeasure, users of cursed speech tend to limit their casual language to certain safe words to avoid triggering cursed speech. For example, Toge utters the names of ingredients of onigiri to communicate with his peers. While this affects their day-to-day life of talking with others, it helps prevent unnecessary hazards. As a side effect, cursed speech users tend to be reserved individuals who use coded language due to their inability to converse naturally with others. I'm taking that away, like, because guys, we already know how quirks works. It has to be willingly activated by the user, and plus, there is no such thing as cursed energy in My Hero Academia. I'm just bringing this power into the world of My Hero Academia on its own for Deku's sake. I'm not implementing cursed energy or, you know, all that type of stuff like as Jujutsu. I'm not implementing Jujutsu Kaisen methods into My Hero Academia. I don't want to do a whole crossover. Okay, anyway, Jujutsu sorcerers can protect themselves from a cursed speech by manipulating the flow of cursed energy to their brain section that controls ear function. This allows them to prevent words and commands from the cursed speech, or at least the cursed energy which reinforces those commands from being registered and executed. Well, nobody really has that, so ain't really no way to defend against it. Unless you're freaking deaf, I think. Dang it. No. Okay. And here's the commands that come with this crap. Explode causes the user's target to violently explode. Get twisted forces an appendage of the user's targets to twist to the point of complete disfigurement. Get crushed causes the target to implode until they're flattened out. This is crazy. Crumble away creates a small field of intensely heavy gravity that crushes the target until they're violently sent on the ground. That is insane. Then you got don't move temporarily paralyzes the user's target. Bruh, this is so busted. Sleep instantly makes the target fall asleep. I got something better than saying sleep. This will trigger so many of you guys when I say it, but it's not ready yet. I'm not going to use it yet. Return can forcibly dispel a Shikigami. I guess I'm gonna have to use revert, and you guys will know why I say revert later. All right, run away forces the user's target to flee the area. All right, that's good. Stop suspends the user's target's movement. It is not limited to living beings. It can apply to objects. Nice. Blast away. A powerful command that creates an explosive impact of great concussive force, strong enough to launch the user's target away. Oh my god. This is insane. And of course, die. Steals away the life of the user's target, causing them to instantly die. Oh my god. That is crazy. Known users, Toge, yep, and Yuta. Alright, y'all, and since, you know, this is Gear 100 territory, we gotta add our own little spice of flavor into it. So let me explain to you what else I'm gonna do with this quirk. Alright, back to the what ifs. So, you may be asking yourself, how can I make this power even more busted than it already is? Alright, well, number one, since quirk's gotta be activated by the user, I don't really necessarily want, since this is gonna be like an emitter type quirk, I don't really want this to like, just activate every time Deku speaks. Deku would be able to, you know, verbally choose, Deku would be able to consciously choose whether he wants his words to apply to something or not. But also, I'm not taking away that this will, the weakness of his obviously hurting his voice and whatever. But what I'm gonna add is something even more busted. Deku is going to be a god among mortals in this world. How so? Simple. Not only can Deku just say the most simplest of words and have them done, Deku can be extremely, and I mean extremely specific, that he would want something done in this specific way, and cursed speech would have to bend reality itself in order for it to happen. Yeah, I'm not making cursed speech just volatile to like fit to like physical things. Nah, Deku bends time and space and reality to his goddamn will just by his power. So yeah, Deku is literally starting Stripe without having to physically touch something. So yeah, just like I said within my new order AU, Deku can even give himself an entirely new power set if he wanted to. While his original cursed speech power is still there. Like, Deku can just say, I have the ability to manipulate fire, and guess what? Boop! He's just like on the level of Endeavor right now. Or, well, no, not really, unless he says, I have the ability to manipulate fire on an Endeavor scale. And then he would have, like, fire similar to Endeavor's Hellflame. Or he can just give himself, say, I have a new power that's so cold it can freeze the air within a millisecond. Basically, he would get an Ice Quirk even more powerful than Todoroki's that's able to freeze the goddamn air. And yeah, Deku can be very specific or very vague if he wants to be. It doesn't matter what it is. Reality itself will have to bend to whatever Izuku says. Like, the world has to bend to his will. Like, Deku doesn't even have to, well, I'm trying to see. Oh yeah, this will be so funny. Deku could just look at All For One and say kneel, and guess what? All For One would kneel before him like Deku is the god himself. But that's not all. There's much more stuff that Deku can do based on cursed speech. But I'm not gonna spoil it. I just wanted to give you guys a very vague, well, a clear outlook on where I'm going with this. So with that being said, let's start off the childhood. And we gotta go a bit younger than that. Well, first, backstory time. Time for the origin story. So, let's click. Boom. We would cut back to some time ago after, well, All For One had killed Nana. Well, it's been a few years. It's been almost 2 decades since All For One had killed the Nanashimura. And, well, he's in his lair, thinking to himself, the time to take out All Might is drawing ever so closer. But All For One reflects back on everything he's done in his life so far, and he thinks One For All is a power that has been passed on from every generation onto the 8th, and now it's finally another has taken up the mantle. All Might, Toshinori Yagi. Back then, the boy was stronger than Nanashimura, because, you know, One For All gets stronger as it goes on. So I believe All Might, at whatever age he was fighting with Nana at whatever age he was fighting with Nana at All For One, I would say All Might was already stronger than her at that point, but he just wasn't ready to fight All For One at full capacity just yet. Because that was teen All Might, not, you know, prime All Might. Alright, reflecting on it, moving back. All For One would reflect on that, saying the boy was already competent enough to give him some trouble back then. But now, this is the peak evolution of heroes. You have people like Endeavor, Hawks, Mirko, Best Genius, Edgeshot, and so many more pro heroes out there. And this is the peak of hero society. And so he's only getting older and slowing down even more. Well, not officially, but time waits for no one. He's already over 100 and something, 200 something. I don't know. I don't really care about too much for age, but we're moving on. That's not a part of the story. But the significance of thinking that, All For One starts to think to himself that, could All Might actually take him down? And then the doctor comes in. Master, what are you saying? I'm just thinking to myself, Doctor. That quirk of mine has stockpiled so much energy that young Yagi has had enough power, stockpiled enough power to give me enough trouble a lot earlier, almost an entire decade ago. But now, could he pose enough of a threat to me that might require a lot more drastic action? And the doctor would say no such thing is possible. Yes, the quirk has gotten a lot stronger over the time, but it will never come near strong enough to defeat you. And All For One cannot believe that. Because if the quirk had lasted this long, has hid itself well enough this long to get this far, then who's to say it won't actually overcome him when All Might passes it on? Of course, he's not choosing a successor now. All Might's like, what, in his 30s, 40s, 20s? I don't know. So I'm trying to think right now. It's kind of hard for me to comprehend it. So, All for One says just like One for All, he's going to copy what they did over this time. And the doctor would ask, what does he mean? He means he needs a successor of his own. What? Wait, what? Really? Of course not. By successor, I mean another body for me to, well, control. For me to inherit if this one were to so fail me. My age is getting up there, Doctor. And ashamed as I am to admit it, even with my plethora of quirks, my wide, vast pool of powers I've gained. Oh my god. That just ruined the moment right there. I'm sorry, y'all. My vast, wide pool of power I've gained so far. It will not... this body cannot last forever. I'm going to need something else. Something completely from scratch. Oh, so what are you thinking? I need an adaptable body, like mine. One to be able to handle multiple quirks. Also, one that can handle lots, and I mean a lot of power. Almost a genetic duplicate of mine. Ah, so I should start getting a cloning system ready? No. That, I've seen way too many movies to know where that can lead to, and I don't want anything like that going on. What I am going to need is a spawn directly from my bloodline. My brother had never left behind any relatives for any of us, and neither did I. But this is the golden age of quirks, Doctor. Someone is bound to have a quirk suitable enough to carry on my genes. Oh, really? So, Doctor, what do you think? Master, what are you thinking? I need someone with a good background of great quirks. Someone that is very compatible with my DNA. That way, we wouldn't lead down to the quirk singularity point. Oh, you believe in that theory? It's not just a theory, Doctor. There's living proof. Our early development of Project Nomus are the living proof. These are genetically spliced dead corpses that can handle multiple quirks. That's why they won't mutate. But, well, we've already seen their mutations with the scars and, well, with the deformities that many of them have. Albeit unable to cover their brain, they can still only do so little of orders and commands that I give them. So, fetch me a... I'm trying to think. Oh, fetch me a few papers of surrogates for me to enact, for me to throw my will upon. I need to find a good, mother for this child to be born at once. Sorry, y'all. I could not think of any good wordings for that entire sentence. So just roll with me on that. The doctor comes back with a plethora of papers. As All for One looks through them, he sees that some of them are actually good, but well, none of them possess the like the bloodline he's looking for, because the doctor even brings up Procure a Miracle, like for, oh my god, to be the mother of the child. Number one, All for One says, one, Miracle like doesn't do companionship or love or anything on that. Two, her quirk is also a mutation. Okay, All for One is not racist in any type of way on that level, but he doesn't want like a future child of his, a future body of his, to bear any resemblance to a quirk like that, because mutations have a lot more DNA carrying I don't know, have a lot more DNA carrying DNA over onto the child. So he doesn't want any mutations in his oh my god, in his future body, because that could accidentally make it unstable, and he doesn't need anything like that. So All For One keeps looking through the plans, but none of them are very much good. Until All For One had just gotten the brightest idea ever. Wow, this video is already 20 minutes. Oh well, I'm just gonna keep it going anyway. He looks back on his former enemy, Nana Shimura. She has to have a good hero background. A former hero, the former #1 hero of Japan, and a previous carrier of One For All. And the doctor just said, well, he killed Nana Shimura. And All For One just says, Doctor, have you completely lost faith in me? Think outside the box. I'm not talking about Nana Shimura herself, but the children she left behind. She hasn't left any children behind except a son and a daughter. Oh, exactly. The parent of a former wielder of One For All. Meaning there has to be some embers, something, or even just a few benefits left within there. There has to be something there. But, Master, this is perfect. It's exactly what I need. So, track down this daughter of hers. I need to meet her in person. Of course. The doctor comes back within a few minutes. So, who do we have here? Inko Shimura, sir. She's 23 and just now out of college and looking for just out of college and looking for work now. Perfect. But that's not the only one she had. Nana Shimura had 2 kids. She also had a son. Oh, I'm not interested in that. But he already has a family. Oh? Yes. The Shimura name lives on with him. So with that being said, he has 2 kids. Tanko Shimura and... Oh, no, I forgot the sister's name. I really forgot the sister's name. Man. Okay, I'm gonna have to look that up later. Moving on. All For One just says, well, we'll keep an eye on them for now. But as of now, Inko Shimura. I'm interested to see what happens next. Okay, so, whew, this is going to get tough. We're gonna have to do a little bit of a time skip here, but no, not a time skip. We're gonna have to do a little bit of a, I'm gonna fill in the blanks for you guys, because I don't want to go through an entire story. I'll just tell you like this. All For One met Inko that is looking for work at like a coffee shop or whatever, because she still has, her apartment and whatever. And Hasashi just so happened to ask, can he sit here as well, because he's doing work himself. He's on a laptop. He looks like a businessman. So, moving on with that fact, he makes some moves on Inko, blah blah blah. They started getting to know each other. One thing led to another. They started dating, and well, they got married, and All For One now, oh boy. All For One and Inko now have a house together. Yeah, not the apartment this time. They actually have a house. Inko is still best friends with Mitsuki, because I don't know why that would change. Masaru is there too, and one thing led to another. Bakugo is older than Deku. He's like the oldest in the class, and I think Deku's the youngest in the class 1A. Whatever. Moving on from that fact, Bakugo was already born before Deku, and then one thing led to another. Izuku was born. This is who we're focusing on right now. Okay. Here we go, guys. Give me 1 second. Now, Izuku on the other side. All For One. Okay, for All For One to have a genetically duplicate spliced version of him, he had to make sure that his genes were so dominant in the birthing process that he had to make sure only Inko's potential would go onto the child. Because Inko had a very great quirk, but she didn't want to be a hero. She actually had telekinesis on the level of Tatsumaki from One Punch Man. Yes, it was actually that level of strong and powerful. But she never really wanted to be a hero, because seeing as how her mother fared in that world, she was way too afraid and scared to go into that world. And plus, with her brother kind of instilling how bad it is, how bad heroes are, she kind of did stay away from that. But Inko and her brother had a falling out due to Inko not resenting their mother at all like the brother did. The brother hated their mom for giving them up for adoption, into foster care, because she was a hero, and he felt like she hurt him, both of them, because of that. Mostly him. Inko held no resentment though, because she knew why they had to be given up. The world that their mom lived in was way too dangerous for them to stick around. And Inko kept an open mind about that, and she let go. But the brother hated their mother and hated Inko for that. Every time he looked at Inko, he saw her face. He just hated Inko and their mother so much that he just completely cut Inko out of her life, making it clear that he wanted nothing to do with their mother or her at all. They ended up having a falling out, and the brother never even invited Inko to his wedding, or to even see her niece or her nephew. But that's fine. Even though Inko had tried to contact him before, nothing worked. But she always sent letters to her brother every time. But we'll get into that story later on. This makes Shigaraki and Izuku actually cousins in this AU, which I know I kind of fall for the fandom every now and then, guys. I do like the Shiga Deku cousins AU. Brothers AU, I don't really get why. I mean, well, I kind of do get, because Shigaraki was taken in by All For One. But I do like the cousins AU that the fandom does go for, because it makes a lot more sense that way. It really does, because I like to fall into the trope. Okay, anyway, moving on. So, since All For One wanted a genetically spliced double of himself, he wanted to make sure Inko's genes were less prominent, but that they were still there. He just wanted the potential and the raw power to be put into the child, nothing too closely related of Inko, but still had to be some percentage of relatedness to his mother. So instead of 50-50, All For One kind of made it like 90-10. Yeah, it was that crazy. So here we go to finally the birth of Izuku Midoriya, actually. And the reason why it's Midoriya is because you know what? Nah, screw it. I'm gonna keep it Shimura. Because when they got married, okay, I'm gonna do this a little bit of a little bit of a rewind thing before to retcon the Midoriya name. Inko and Hasashi were talking about when they were getting married, when they were planning the wedding and everything. Hasashi wanted to, All For One, aka Hasashi, wanted to take the relationship to the next level, and he wanted Inko's family name to live on. He knew it wasn't very traditional in a sense of how marriage works, but he wanted to keep it for like their future kids, because he really liked Inko's last name and he didn't really like his that much. And Inko, not really having a problem with it, said okay. So it's now Hasashi Shimura, Inko Shimura, and finally Izuku Shimura. And that's how we got to keep the Shimura name. Okay, whew, now we get to move on. So, Izuku Shimura. Izuku almost looked like a genetic duplicate of his father, literally. He had the white hair. Dang it. Alright guys, we're back. He had the white hair, and oh my gosh, it was as snow white as his father's. But that's not all. Oh wait, hold on guys, let me switch to a different outlook for a second. Izuku in this state had snow white hair like his father, bearing very little resemblance to his mother at all, except, well, like I said, 10%, but still. The only noticeable thing of Inko on it was the little green tips at the end of every sharp end of his hair. So guys, if you look at every end of Izuku's hair strand, just imagine there's like a little hint of green in there, going into like a lime green into like where his eyes are, into that tint green. But then the rest of them, his eyes, they were so beautiful, just like his father's. His dad's hair was, well, pause on my end for saying that, but still, Hasashi's eyes were red, almost as if they were from a sea of blood. Izuku shared the same eyes, but not like his father's, not like bloodshed, but as if it's just an array of cave full of rubies. Nothing bad in those eyes at all. All for One could sense within this child that there was potential lying there. Now, his duplicate copy is perfect. And so at the hospital they were at, All for One's doctor is there. He checked Izuku to make sure there was no problems, no birth defects, no anything. Absolutely nothing wrong with him. He's a normal baby right now. No problems. And with the paternity test on how they test it, he is so closely related to All for One, it's almost a perfect copy, with obviously still bearing resemblance of his mother, albeit the green tips there. All for One says that's like a small minor mishap that he can just get past. That's nothing to worry about. Of course. Now, All for One had to spend the next 4 years nurturing and, making sure Izuku couldn't be ruined by Inko. But then again, he couldn't be there all the time because, he had his own shit to take care of. So let's cut to some differences on that. Izuku was very intelligent, even as a baby. Just like I said, he takes way too much after his father. A lot. Because even though he was just born somehow, Izuku was already super strong. Able to almost crawl around. And was opening his eyes, looking everywhere. Newborn babies should not be able to do this at all. All for One then realized just how closely Izuku resembled him, but not all the way. 1 second. Crazy enough, All for One as a baby was on the bigger bit because obviously his twin brother, and Yoichi was on the smaller side. And it seems that Izuku kind of took that side of the family, but that doesn't really matter because he was still very strong. It's like he's acting on instinct alone, looking at his mother who just gave birth to him and his father who was currently holding him. All for One then realized that, yeah, this child is perfect. He wonders what type of quirk he will obtain. So, now this part will be amazing. Alright, but anyway, now we get to move on. Alright, sorry y'all, I just wanted to do that. Okay, like I said, All for One couldn't be there 24/7, which means Inko could have an influence on Izuku, but the times he were there, he would make sure to nurture Izuku in exactly the way he would always want it to be. This kind of led to Izuku being a dark type of child, like in his younger times. And and crazy enough, he can still remember the things him and his dad would do back then. He can't exactly remember his dad's face. It's still very blurry to him. But still, he would still remember the things his dad would be saying to him. Like every time when Inko would be in the kitchen making dinner, All for One would be speaking to him while Izuku was sitting next to him. Because All for One somehow knew, All for One could see from Izuku's facial expressions by looking at him that Izuku could understand every word that he was saying. Something like, "You will inherit my will when you're older. We will take down the hero society together," or something like that. That's from Deku's point of view, from what he thought his dad was saying. But Izuku would feel some type of strange attachment to his dad all the time. Don't get me wrong, he still loved his mom every second of the way, but his dad, he just felt closer with him for some reason. But still, All for One could not do this forever. Because, now, oh boy, here it comes. At the age of 4, it was time to get his quirk checked out. Now guys, bear with me on the situation here. This has to happen so All for One doesn't try to take over Izuku immediately. I gotta create a problem. So, here we go. So when we get to the quirk doctor, all of this here has All for One's plan somehow comes to be for naught. As the doctor checks. This is All for One's doctor, by the way. Dang it. Alright, there we go. He checks and scans his body, but he finds nothing. No, this can't be right. No. As he checks over and over and over again. But, he has to come back with the terrible results that he doesn't want to give, but he can't lie to his master. I'm sorry, but it looks like your son is quirkless. What? Oh dear. What? Excuse me? As, the doctor would explain that would show that Izuku has an extra joint in his pinky toe and whatever, and that it's somehow unreason. He's most likely will not develop a quirk anytime soon. So I'm sorry, little one, but you won't be developing a quirk at all. And oh dear, as Izuku is somewhat upset by this news. Oh, he does look sad, but his eyes go dull for a moment, but he just says, "Oh, okay." Oh yeah, Izuku, well, oh boy. There might have been some surprises with Izuku. As, oh boy. As All For One stays back, and wait, Hasashi says he's gonna linger back in the office to wait for the paperwork to come out. And as they leave the room, All For One grabs the doctor's shoulder, looks at him with a death glare, and says, "What the fuck do you mean, quirkless? Sir, please, don't be angry at me. I'm just stating the facts. Please keep in mind that you are from the first generation, the first person born with a quirk in the world. Like, but how? How could my son, with my wide pool of quirks, have nothing? Absolutely nothing. Not even one quirk could pass on to him. Not even his mother's quirk, who has a high compatibility with most of my quirks. Like, again, sir, I don't know what to tell you. Like, please understand, back then, you were born in the time where quirks were barely a thing. And you're from the first generation. And since your son is so close to you, he so genetically much more closely related to you. He's from a generation where quirks were barely a thing back when you were born. So if anything, he's a second gen. And his mother is currently wow, I have no idea. But anyway, whatever. It's currently Gen whatever the heck Inko's generation is. All For One, like the doctor said, this may be a miscalculation because Izuku's so closely related to his dad that All For One wanted to make like a blank slate for him to easily take control over, that he didn't take into account that this might relate into his son being quirkless. Just great. And All For One makes sure that this isn't a Yoichi situation, and you're sure he has no quirk. I'm positive. Absolutely nothing. I checked, rechecked, and even checked the other times I've checked again. I've even done other methods of quirk testing. Your son has absolutely nothing there. This is a great deal of a problem. What are you going to do now, sir? Well, I'm going to use the other half. That Tenko Shimura kid is still around. Wait, the other Shimura family is still around, aren't they? Well, yes. Why not pay them a little bit of a visit? Sir, they'll survive without me. I don't need to be here anyway. And from that day onward, Hasashi never really showed up again after that day. He dropped off the paperwork, and later that night, his work called him in. He was going overseas, but he never returned from that day. So that means Inko was now free to raise Izuku as she saw fit, allowing him to have a lot more compassion and thankfully instilling a lot more kindness into his heart, rather than cold and kind of, well, really responsive like Hasashi would sometimes be when he was in deep thought. But this was just normal behavior for Izuku. But thankfully, since All For One made him a blank slate, Izuku was very easily impressionable. So with that being said, oh my god, thankfully, Inko was able to instill kindness and compassion into Izuku. But Izuku still had a rather cold demeanor to him sometimes. I don't know. He would just be cold to people. It's more like a guard when you obviously meet people for the first time. Izuku would be a cold dude like Todoroki, but you can slowly get him to open up to trust you. But it just takes a lot. But the moment you break his trust the first time, it's over. And Bakugo learned that the hard way, because when Izuku told him that he was quirkless, he said it in such a blank and blunt way too. Hey, Izuku, what's your quirk? Oh, I'm quirkless. Ha! Really? A quirkless loser? As Bakugo started bullying Deku and got people to laugh at him. Well, 2 people never really laughed at him, but Deku didn't really mind. He just went back to what he was doing and writing in his notebooks. And that's when the verbal abuse started to begin. And from that day onward, Izuku never associated with Bakugo again. They were, just like what Saitama said with Fubuki, well, not even acquaintances. Well, you know what? Yeah, honestly, that's just it. They're acquaintances. They're acquainted with each other because their parents are. And that's pretty much it. So, whoop! Izuku started to slowly become a much more go-happy kid, as spending time with his mom really did greatly instill some heroic behavior into Izuku. Izuku slowly started to get more into the canon Izuku that we see. Not really a shy boy or anything, but still, he has the will to defend himself and stand up for himself. But he would just get more... But the thing is, he kind of has a bit of a temper on him every now and then. He's not easily irritatable like Bakugo, who just gets sets off on everything. But if you can get... Oh boy. But sometimes Izuku really doesn't want to goddamn hear it. And, well... He tends to blow up a lot. Because remember, he's still got those red eyes. So if you were to make him mad... Izuku is a lot stronger than most people took him for. Oh yeah, a little bit of a birth thing for Izuku. I don't know, I've always wanted to add this little thing into there, but Izuku has very sharp teeth. It's kind of funny. But check this out. Wait, nope, not yet, guys. Not yet. I can't show you that part yet. But I'm going to. Oof, this is almost an hour. Okay, I better hurry up. So, anyway. Deku, on the other hand, grows up very happily. Until finally... Oh, boy. Deku's in the playground right now, in the sand pit, just building a sand castle. Not really worried about anything else. Just calmly building a sand castle. Like, excuse me. Like, huh? You're that quirkless kid, aren't you? Yeah. So. I need to know. What do you want to be when you're older? Oh. Izuku had never really given it any thought. Because, well, sure, he liked the idea of heroes, but did he really want to be one himself? Izuku had truly given it some thought, but he thought he could take the idea. I will want to be a hero. A quirkless hero. Sounds interesting. You interest me, boy. You interest me. What's your name? Izuku Shimura. Huh. Good. My name is, let me introduce you. This is Lady Satsuki. Satsuki Kyuryween. What the, yeah guys, I'm doing it again. I like it. I like the ship and I don't care. I'm gonna keep doing this. This is an overpowered Deku, so you know what? I thought, why the heck not? I should really bring in the Kill la Kill theme music to sell this bit. If I remember to do it, I will, guys, just to make you guys more hype and more click to like the video. 10 likes and I will continue this video. I'm telling you guys that now. Anyway, this is Lady Satsuki, and you will respect her as a queen. Like it's okay. He doesn't really know who I am yet. Okay, what the? Deku was looking on confused, and he sees another black-haired girl come over who's kind of shorter than Satsuki, but they're in the same school. I'm making them twins I'm making them twins in this AU because I swear to God, it's just really hard for me not to. And like, this right here is my sister, youngest sister, in fact. I know I said they're twins, but Satsuki was the firstborn by like a few minutes, but like, just by like 2 minutes. Her name's Ryuko. Like, oh, Ryuko Kyuryween. No, Ryuko Matoi. Well, why our parents couldn't decide which last name, so they just split it. Easier that way. Okay. Why are you coming over to me? You interest me. You're quirkless, and yet you want to be a hero. Why? Well, I just decided I wanted to be a hero. It's nothing really on that situation. But I guess... It just seems cool. It just seems cool. Huh. But, I don't know. I don't think I can be a hero with, well, how powerless I am. Powerless schmowerless. If you're powerless, then gain power. Like, what? Like this sand here. As Satsuki started to explain it in a Satsuki way. This sand is small, minuscule, can't really make a difference on its own. But with sheer force, will, and vim and vigor. If you can't... that sandcastle right there, if it can't be built by this small little patch of sand, then you should build it inside your mind. That's what makes it special. Build that fortitude, build that strength, and most of all, build that will to become a hero. You don't have to be, you don't have to have a quirk to become a hero. Quirks is just an addition, just something that makes it easier on the way. So, what do you want to be? A hero? Tell me with confidence. What do you want to be? A hero. What do you want to be? I want to be a hero. Then be that hero. Show me what a hero does. How am I supposed to? And then, like, Bakugo starts bullying that one kid. Here we go. And Deku sees it, and for the first time, finally breaking through that little bit of a crack of that cold heart that he has. Like, Bakugo, huh? Why are you being so mean? Like, oh, if it isn't little quirkless Deku. Can't you see he's crying? Stop it. Oh, really? And what if I don't? If you don't, I'll... As Deku raises up his fist, I'll stop you myself. Deku doesn't even cry. He's fully confident in what he's about to do here. Like, really. Still trying to, like, now you're playing hero? Quirkless people can't be heroes. Deku. What the fuck is a Deku? As, come on, let's get him. As Deku, for the, finally. Something changes with the Izuku this time. Deku's mouth starts to form. As Satsuki and Ryuko were about to join him to help him. Well, even the pink-haired girl who is Satsuki's childhood friend. I kind of forgot her name in the hits of the moment right now. But, they see something happening with him. Bakugo and his goons look at Deku. And they see he's kind of struggling with something. As marks appear on his mouth. As Izuku would look up and say, "Stop!" As "stop" would echo out everywhere. And then, all of a sudden, they would freeze in place. And then Deku would just yell, "Go away!" As, woof! Everyone in the area gets sent flying back. And even Satsuki and Ryuko, like, whoa! They get blown away. What's going on? As Deku's face starts to turn red. As, right then and there, Deku collapses, and when the teacher comes out, she sees everyone all over the place, but Deku dead in the middle, and his head, he's burning up very badly. She immediately they immediately take him to the nurse, but then Izuku gets taken to the hospital because it's even worse than before. And eventually Inko does show up and ask what's wrong with him, but then they say, "Don't worry, ma'am. It's from, well, okay, this isn't All for One's doctor, by the way. This is somebody different." They say, "Don't worry, ma'am. It's nothing bad. But it seems that your last doctor made a mistake. His quirk is showing up. It's emerging." Really? Yeah. We're just trying to get it under control. Izuku's like saying, like, "It hurts so much." As Deku's whole body starts to twitch and spasm. He doesn't know why does this hurt so bad. But as Deku's eyes open, his eyes go from red to blue to green, yellow. It just goes crazy. And then, like, the doctors and even Inko, they have no idea what's happening. Light bursts from Izuku, a rainbow light. What is this? Pure, raw energy and power come from Izuku. This is something that no one has ever seen before. Izuku's eyes are changing color multiple times, as this new power has no idea where to stop. Even twilights of, like, almost mini stars come off of Deku. This is insane, unprecedented. As like the light comes out of Izuku's mouth, his eyes, even his whole body, it starts to spark colorful veins on his body. The rainbow light goes everywhere throughout him. As then finally, it all just stops. Izuku can finally take a breather, and as it's all said and done, the mark on his mouth is permanently left there. As Inko goes and cradles Izuku. Oh, Izuku, my baby, are you okay? Mom? Like, it's okay. I'm here. As Izuku would just, like, due to pure exhaustion of the quirk awakening in his body, he just passed, and due to the stress put on him, he just passed out. But when he would wake up again, he would be in a hospital bed. What happened? Why does my teeth feel sharp? Guys, this is a little bit of an addition on my part. I wanted to add this. Because of this development, Izuku's mouth kind of changed a little bit. Paused on that one. But this is what his teeth look different. Whoop! Yeah, this is what Deku's teeth look like. They, kind of got serrated and bladed because of the cursed speech. Kind of mutated his mouth a little bit, but it's not bad. It's still fine. It's something he can deal with, but oh lord, is he gonna scare people like that. Also, his voice got a lot deeper. A lot deeper. You know how some people, like, people's voices deepen in the goddamn morning? That's how his voice sounds. He sounds like groggy in the morning. Deku's voice is going to be very deep when he gets older. My god, it's going to be crazy. Alright, moving on. Back to it. As we now come back to the hospital, Izuku wakes, obviously, when after Deku's woken up, he looks at himself in the mirror and sees that there's these strange markings on his mouth. What is this? And it's even on his tongue too. Jeez, what did it do to me? And the new doctor would come in and say, young man, if it seems your last doctor made a mistake. Well, it's just that you were a late bloomer instead of quirkless. Really? Yes, sir. You have developed a quirk, and well, it seems very powerful now. Well, what do you mean? Well, due to the very little information we got at your school, it said that you had said stop and go away, and everything was blown apart. So we think it takes into consideration upon what you say activate your quirks sometime. What does this mean? Wait, does this mean I can be a hero? Well, I don't see why not, young man. Like, yes! Alright, so do you have a name you would like to call this quirk? Because we can't think of one. Deku thinks for a minute, but then he knows exactly what to call it. Since it's based off what he says and the way it happened, Izuku wants to give it the name Cursed Speech. Ooh, very unique name, young man. Alright, Cursed Speech. Deku doesn't exactly know how this quirk works yet, but he'll update it once he gets a grasp upon how the quirk works and everything. So, they leave the room, and when Deku gets back, he tells Satsuki, Ryuko, and I forgot the pink-haired girl name about his quirk and everything. Moving on. So, after telling them about, like, what his quirk was, Satsuki and Ryuko and Satsuki just, well, it says something, because Ryuko doesn't really say much at this age. I mean, she can talk, there's no problem with that, but she prefers not to, because Satsuki is the one who does most of the talking. Satsuki just says, well, congratulations, you're now worth more than you were yesterday. But that still doesn't change anything. Just because you have a good quirk doesn't mean you're guaranteed to be a hero. You have to make something of the quirk. You have to train it. Build yourself up. You're not the best just because you have a quirk. Everyone, just like 80% of the other 80% of the other population. You got to make yourself stand out. You have to make yourself unique above the rest. So how are you going to do that? Deku just says, proclaims he's going to go to UA, be the next #1 hero and everything. Satsuki just laughs and says, you can't be #1 because I'm going to be #1. So good luck with that. But then Ryuko kind of tugs on Satsuki's shoulder, on sleeve, and then she raises her fist and like, I'm gonna be in the number one. She doesn't really talk much. She's like Koda at this age. Doesn't really talking, but you understand sign language though. But Izuku said he's going to train hard every single day to become number one. Oh really? Show us then. So, that's what we're going to end it on this part here, y'all. This was a major comeback for Gear 100, and I'm so happy I came back with such a banger like this one for you guys. So, if you guys are happy, because I got more ideas coming out pretty soon. So, with that being said, hope you guys did enjoy. Like I said, 10 likes to continue this, and I'm going to try to get more videos out today for you guys, but if I can't, hope you guys did enjoy this one I put out. Hopefully you guys type in the comments, welcome back, because it's time to get back where we left off. Time to pick up some more crew members. With that being said, y'all know what to do. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment down below. Peace, guys.
She likes it when I hit, when I tap. Wait, what? Ay, shawty's the same. Not without me, she ain't function. Running out the game, I don't got no time for love. Shawty, stick to your lane. I don't wanna hear you bugging.